Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I have some Chicago Bulls news and rumors that just came out. Thank you guys for all the love on my last video and all my past videos. Also, before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys give a grade on the whole Markkanen trade below today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down that trade, what the Bulls got in return, also talking about Zach LaVine signing with Klutch Sports, and the Bulls possibly being interested in Vanderbilt. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Leave a quick like on today's video and some comments and questions below today's video as well. And let's just jump right into it because at first I wasn't even going to talk about this topic. But since, on Twitter and Facebook, I see a bunch of Bulls fans and Lakers fans making this a huge deal. And just the other day, Zach LaVine did sign with a new agent. He did sign with Klutch Sports, and Klutch Sports represents many of the NBA's biggest stars. And Klutch Sports has worked with Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine now, Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, LeBron James, a bunch of big name NBA players that always get paid. And I already see so many Lakers fans, the second they think of Klutch Sports, they think of Anthony Davis and LeBron James and the Lakers. And it just doesn't make sense to me. I see Lakers fans on Twitter already saying, Zach LaVine's going to request a trade to the Lakers. He is technically a free agent next offseason where he's going to sign with the Lakers. First off, the Lakers have no salary cap. It just doesn't make any sense, especially with Zach LaVine being behind all the Chicago Bulls moves in this upcoming offseason. There were some reports about that. Zach LaVine has said many times he loves Chicago. He loves playing in Chicago. He loves being the #1 scoring option. I think Lakers fans just need to quit it. They've been talking about this and making news and rumors up for honestly years now. Anytime Zach LaVine says anything, they always Photoshop him in a Lakers jersey and such. I believe Lakers fans are just crazy. This is never going to happen. The Bulls can also offer Zach LaVine the most money or more money than any other NBA team next offseason. With Zach LaVine being behind the whole Chicago Bulls offseason plan, signing and trading for all these good players. Lonzo just signed, another good friend of Zach. It just doesn't make any sense. Zach LaVine's going to get a max contract next offseason with the Chicago Bulls. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about that first topic. And the second topic in today's video is, of course, going to be about the Lauri Markkanen trade. Let me just say, I believe the Bulls won that trade. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about that trade and grading that trade below. And Derrick Jones Jr. is a very solid rotational player. And just last offseason, I made a video about how the Bulls were reportedly interested in Derrick Jones Jr. He did then sign with the Miami Heat. Then he got traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. And, not only does that mean something, Arturas is very aggressive. I think you guys can understand and see that from all the moves he made in this past offseason, and especially with him wanting Derrick Jones Jr. just like a year ago, and now look at it, he is now a Chicago Bull. He's super aggressive, and when he wants players or wants a trade to be done, he gets it done. You love to see that from a GM. And I also think NBA fans and Bulls fans tend to forget he is only 24 years old. I honestly, that blew my mind. I thought he was much older than that. And I know, there's some Bulls fans kind of worrying about the Bulls' age after adding DeRozan and Vucevic, but there's still plenty of young talent on the Chicago Bulls roster. Patrick Williams just turned 20, Coby White's only 21, Marko's only 21, Ayo's only 21, Troy Brown Jr. is 22, Lonzo's 23, Tony Bradley's 23, Derrick Jones Jr. is 24, and LaVine is only 26. And something that's even more impressive, after all these trades and big name free agents and just trades the Bulls have made, the Chicago Bulls also have 2 firsts next season, which is very impressive from the Chicago Bulls offseason. And I'm very happy with this trade. Markkanen literally told the media he didn't want to be in Chicago. He didn't want to play for the Bulls. And usually anytime an NBA player says that, comes out and says they don't want to play there, their value drops a lot. But thankfully, he was a restricted free agent. And not only did the Chicago Bulls get a good rotational player back in Derrick Jones Jr., they also got a first rounder and a second rounder, which is very impressive. And Derrick Jones Jr. has 5 seasons of experience under his belt at only 24 years old. And he's going to be a very solid rotational player for the Chicago Bulls. He could honestly play the 3, and say the season did start right now, he could probably play the 4. I do hope the Bulls can go out there and sign a power forward like Paul Millsap or Vanderbilt. I'm going to be jumping into his game in a minute or two. But nonetheless, Derrick Jones Jr. is an athletic freak. You know, he is only 24 years old. He is 6'5", and he has a 7-foot wingspan. He is on a 1-year contract as well, so the Chicago Bulls really aren't tied up in money with him. I'm pretty sure he's making about $9 or $10 million per season, and he played pretty solid last season as well. You know, he didn't play that much, but nonetheless, he's going to be a very solid piece coming off the Bulls bench. He's very athletic, he's very lengthy, and he's a good defender, which the Bulls have been missing defense for a while now. In 58 games played last season, he put up 7 points, 4 total rebounds, and assists a game. He shot 48% from the field and 32% from deep. He's going to be instant energy off the Bulls bench. You know, it's going to be fun watching Lonzo Ball throw him and Zach LaVine lobs. The Bulls are going to be averaging at least 1 poster per game with, you know, Lonzo, Zach, Caruso. It's going to be a fun season. He's also a very good defender. I'm very happy with this sign and trade. I still can't believe the Bulls not only got a good rotational player in return, and a first rounder and a second rounder. And just remember, Derrick Jones Jr. is on an expiring deal. So if the Bulls do not view him as a future piece, they can just simply let him walk next offseason, or around the trade deadline, they could probably trade him and get something in return. I'm very happy with the trade. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about the Markkanen trade and grading it. And the final topic in today's video is about a power forward the Chicago Bulls could be interested in. You know, I've made many videos talking about how the Bulls should sign Paul Millsap. I really hope we can get that deal done. But another potential power forward that the Bulls have been kind of linked to recently is Jarred Vanderbilt. And this past season, he did play with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He didn't play that much minutes, but in those few minutes per game, he did average pretty much 5 points and 6 rebounds, and he has flashed as a high motor defensive player, a good rebounder, and very good finisher around the rim. And he is 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan. You know, he's a combo forward. He can either play the center or power forward position. He's very athletic, and he just has a lot of energy. He's a very good defender as well. And plus, he's still only 22 years old, and Vanderbilt was a Denver Nuggets second-round draft pick in 2018. So he is connected to the Chicago Bulls front office, and the only problem with this, I would be very happy if the Bulls did sign him on a minimum contract. Say the Bulls do miss out on Paul Millsap. The only problem is the Minnesota Timberwolves do own Jarred Vanderbilt's rights, so he is a restricted free agent, meaning they could match any deal he does sign in free agency. So who knows if the Bulls can get this done, but he's very high energy, a good defensive player. I believe he'd be worth a minimum contract. Say the Bulls did miss out on Paul Millsap. I hope we could sign him or Paul Millsap. If any other news or rumors come out about the Bulls signing another potential free agent, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for all the love on the past few videos and the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.